In this video, we're going to talk about the sculpting basics. This is the interface that you'll be presented with when you start sculpting. On the sidebar, we have, from top to bottom, the active tool icon, which can also double as a tool picker. The stamp menu, where we can choose images to use as brush tips. The brush size slider. The brush strength slider. The masking shortcut, which we can press to switch temporarily to the masking brush. The light shortcut, which we can press to move the position of the directional light. The smooth shortcut, which we can press to switch temporarily to the smooth brush. The alternate shortcut, which we can press to run the alternate of a negative mode of the active tool. And the navigation shortcut, which we can press to do 3D navigation around the scene. If we want to start sculpting, all we have to do is make sure that we have a selection, make sure that we have a sculpting tool as the active tool, and if that's in place, just tap and drag on the mesh to modify it. As you can see, we have symmetry enabled. We will talk about symmetry in a different video. If I press the alternate shortcut while dragging my other finger over the surface of the mesh, it runs the negative mode of the brush. If I press the smooth shortcut while dragging my other finger over the surface of the mesh, it softens the areas affected by the brush. If I press the masking shortcut while dragging my other finger over the surface of the mesh, it will create a mask. But we will talk about masking in a different video. Now that we've talked a bit about sculpting, let's see the mesh menu. If we drag the sidebar towards the viewport, the menus will show up. Sculpt meshes in Forger can have multiple subdivision levels. You'll often find that it's best to go to lower subdivision levels to make broader changes to your sculpts. Any changes that you make on lower subdivision levels will make their way to the higher subdivision levels and the other way around. You can change the subdivision level by using the slider. If you need more geometry, you can always press subdivide, which will get you 4 times the amount of geometry that your current subdivision level has. There's a memory limit to how much geometry you can have in your scene. This memory limit will depend on your device. Finally, if you import any geometry that comes from a different subdivision software, you can always recreate the sublevels by going to the mesh menu and tapping on Rebuild Sublevel. You can keep pressing it until it tells you that there are no more subdivision levels to be created. You'll be able to export your meshes by tapping on the export button located in the file menu.